Welcome to Sydney-Kingsford Smith Airport, New South Wales, Australia. It's just after 0840 hours local time on Monday, 3rd March 2025. Qantas Flight 643, operated with a Boeing 737-800, has departed from Gate 8 bound for Perth, about 5 hours and 15 minutes away. As the aircraft approaches runway 16 right, the crew monitors Sydney Tower on 120.5. Let's tune in too.
Qantas 643, runway 16 right, Qantas right, clear to take off, Qantas 643.
Qantas Flight 643 takes off normally and follows the Group 1 standard instrument departure, which requires a right turn as soon as practicable to dunes, then track via Dina and Grook before beginning the transition. As the crew approaches dunes, they request a handoff to Sydney departure.
Qantas 643, and contact us. Qantas 643, passing at 3,000, 5,000.
Qantas 643, departure is good day, departure time right 6 flight level 280.
Qantas departure 643.
As the climb continues, the flight crew notice an ominous sign on the flight deck. Smoke begins to emanate from the left audio control panel. The crew immediately don their oxygen masks. Let's take a look at the smoke, fire or fumes checklist from the aircraft's quick reference handbook. 1. Diversion may be needed. 2. Don oxygen masks and set regulators to 100% as needed. 3. Establish crew and cabin communications. 4. Bus transfer switch off. This isolates the AC transfer bus 1 from the AC transfer bus 2. 5. Cabin utility switch off. This removes electrical power from the galley and cabin equipment systems, including recirculation fans, lavatory water heaters, logo lights, and LED cabin lighting where installed. 6. In-flight entertainment passenger seat switch off. This removes electrical power from installed components of the passenger seats, in-flight entertainment system, and other power systems. 7. Recirc fan switches both off. 8. APU bleed air switch off. At this stage of the checklist, the crew is instructed to decide whether the source of the smoke, fire or fumes is obvious and can be extinguished quickly. If not, and the source is not visually confirmed to be extinguished, or smoke and fumes are not decreasing, continue with the checklist. 9. Equipment cooling supply and exhaust switches, both alternate. 10. Instruct the cabin crew to turn on cabin reading lights, turn on galley attendants' work lights, if installed, turn off cabin fluorescent light switches. 11. Divert to the nearest suitable airport while continuing the checklist. 12. Consider an immediate landing if smoke, fire or fumes situation becomes uncontrollable. 13. Do not delay landing in an attempt to complete all of the following steps. We'll leave the checklist there as the crew work through it. It's clear that there's a strong emphasis on finding the source of and reducing any smoke or fumes, and to proceed to an airport as soon as possible. The crew contacts Sydney departure to make their request.
Qantas 643, request immediate stop climb, immediate return to Sydney.
Qantas 643, copy stop climb, flight level 130, confirm off normal.
Qantas 643, a bit of an electrical slower, we'll get back to you. Stand by.
Qantas 643, understood. Okay, just continue to fly the SID and we'll get you holding somewhere else for the force and bring you back.
We'll need to come back ASAP, Qantas 643.
Qantas 643, understood. Fly heading 330.
Flying 330, Qantas 643.
Qantas 643, descend to 10,000, report POB and any dangerous cargo.
No data is good, Qantas 643.
Qantas 643, understood, and a normal approach and landing.
Turn 16 right via road and please, Qantas 643.
Qantas 643, copy, you're going to expect that. And Qantas 643, when ready, descend to 10,000 on QNH 1018.
When ready, descend 10,000, QNH 1018, Qantas 643.
With the situation not improving, the crew decides they require urgent, but not emergency, handling. They broadcast the International Standard Urgency Signal, PAN-PAN.
Qantas 643, pan. As advised, require immediate return to Sydney. Smoke on the flight deck.
Qantas 643.
Qantas Flight 643 are now being given priority handling to land on runway 16 right. We're going to switch to Sydney approach on 124.4 to check out how they're handling the unfolding situation.
Velocity 912, I've got an emergency in the circuit. Reduced your minimum clean speed for the moment, so might have to give you some holding patterns. Jetstar 202, not sure if you're going to be able to land before this emergency, but I'll give you to director now, 125.3, and he'll bring you in when he can.
Thanks, 25-3, Jetstar 202, bye-bye.
United 863, minimum clean speed. Land Chile 801, upon reaching 9,000, reduce the minimum clean speed. Velocity 912, stop your descent, maintain 9,000, thanks. Land Chile 801, descent amended 8,000. United 863 from TSAT, fly heading 240.
TSAT, just heading 240.
Velocity 912, just holding your present position, 2-minute left-hand pattern on descent to 9,000, thanks.
Oh, this descent pattern, so 9,000.
Stations, just be advised there is an emergency in progress, 737, turning final 15 miles for 16 right. We'll get everyone in after that arrival, but there'll be a few aircraft ahead of you as well that are with director, so just be patient please. United 863, you've got no issues fuel-wise?
Negative, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Approximately 2.5 minutes ago, Qantas Flight 643 changed its transponder code to 7700, signalling an emergency. Flight 643 is now approaching Erden and turning to capture the approach for runway 16 right. With other traffic now holding or being sequenced for runway 16 left, we'll turn our focus back to the unfolding situation. Let's tune back to Sydney Tower.
G'day, Qantas 43, on final.
Qantas 643, Sydney Tower, roger, pan, Air Force on full emergency. Wind 170 degrees, 20 knots, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Right, clear to land, copy, Qantas 643.
With the aircraft loaded with enough fuel to fly for over 6 hours, the crew plan to make an overweight landing. The quick reference handbook notes that pilots should consider runway length available, surface conditions, wind velocity, turbulence, and presence of wind shear, and to plan for a manual landing. In addition, it notes all overweight landings must be reported in the maintenance log, with sufficient information regarding sink rate, low, moderate, medium, or high, as well as any other pertinent information such as side loading, drift, or blown tyres. This information enables ground engineers to perform the correct category of inspection.
Right, United 863 Heavy, you expect
United 863, are you able to accept runway 16 left? At this stage, I can't confirm when runway 16 right is going to be available behind the aircraft landing with the emergency.
The aircraft's approach and landing unfolds as per standard operating procedures. Emergency vehicles are standing by and the runway is set to be closed after the 737 lands, for emergency responders to check for any signs of smoke, fumes, or fire from the aircraft.
Qantas 643, stop on the runway.
Qantas 643, understood. There will be emergency vehicles entering Fiji from taxiway Lima, Wednesday.
Emergency responders report nothing appears amiss as the aircraft slows, and the pilots decide to taxi clear of the runway for a full inspection. Runway 16 right is reopened, with the first departure 10 minutes after the emergency landing. After receiving the all clear from responders, the aircraft taxis back to Gate 8. Engineering personnel inspected the aircraft in a nearby hangar and cleared it for service. With no further issues reported, the aircraft successfully completed its flight to Perth later that afternoon.